Hello everyone, welcome back to the Find Your Feet podcast, a podcast show here to help you live your best life with me, Grace.
And me, Abby.
Your hosts.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today we've got a fun little episode because you guys know we're like obsessed with therapy.
We fucking love it.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely love therapy.
Hoes.
Yeah, and we're always trying to like influence you guys to like get therapy and change your lives with it. But there's also so many things you can do outside of therapy that can like help you grow.
Yeah.
Or that you can do instead of therapy that can literally be just as transformative if you really just apply yourself to it. So we're going to discuss all that today.
Yeah, because therapy does cost money.
It does.
And it's not always, you don't always have the cash to do it.
No.
And sometimes, or you might actually just not want to do it.
Yeah.
So this is for all the people out there that maybe don't want to do it or aren't sure or don't have the money or whatever. But so this episode is therapy dupes.
Therapy dupes. Do you know what I think? Because like everyone says it in an American accent, it's like, what even is the word anymore?
Yeah, I know. So
Dupes.
it's just like a bit of a fun episode. Like, obviously therapy is very important. It's not really much exact dupe for it.
No.
But a dupe is like a version of gets you good enough result.
Yeah.
To the real thing when you can't buy the real deal.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing today.
Exactly.
Well, you started therapy last week.
I did.
First session back.
Oh yeah, because the last episode I said it was I was going.
Yeah, you were going. Yeah.
Now I've been.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was really, really good.
The bit I love the most is that you went and led in the park at the end.
I was scared what you was going to say then.
No, I'm not going to say anything about what you actually said. You know.
Well, when
you went and led in the park,
so
you voice noted me, and you were like lying in the park on the floor at 10:30 in the morning, like on a fucking Thursday morning or something, and then some old man, hello love, you okay down there?
Literally, I was so spaced out. I was like thinking in my head it was normal. Like I had my music on, I was laying on the grass. I really wanted to get all my body onto the grass to really ground, because I won't go into it. No, but I did like this very, very intense meditation in this session. Like probably definitely up there with the most intense I've ever felt my connection. So it can be quite overwhelming. So I was like, I really need to ground. Like I need to ground this energy back in. So yeah, I'm led there on the grass with like my neck on the grass and my body on the grass.
Did you ever fit your shoes off?
Yeah.
Toes out.
Yeah, toes out. Like and it was on that, I don't even know what it is. It's like a little fieldy grass thing. It's not really that big, is it? Across the road.
Yeah, that's not where I would go and chill after I'd walk down.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking
about.
About.
You know,
I
like,
didn't. I was just looking for grass. I was just like heading towards any grass I saw. You know, I'm like led there having a bloody great time singing all this music. And this guy like comes up. He's like, first he went, good morning. I thought, it's in the morning.
Good morning.
I've literally been up for hours. At this point, I've been up, gone to Starbucks, not been allowed in, then gone to Greg's, done work, gone to therapy, come out. I felt like it was the evening. He's like, good morning. I thought, what world am I living in right now? He's like, are you right? I was like, yeah.
No, I'm not.
He must have actually thought I was having like some kind of mental breakdown. And then I was like, oh wait, it is 10:30 on like a Thursday morning. Maybe people aren't usually led in the park.
It's not even where you were though. It's not a park. You were just chilling in a bit of a grass verge in the middle of this village, which I know this village well, and I stroll through it sometimes, go for a little drink at the pub there or whatever. I don't think I've ever seen anyone chilling on that bit, so I'm not surprised.
And that's why they were looking
I'm
at me
not
weird.
surprised that you get a few looks and had someone come and check that you were okay. Because it's like this quiet, quaint, tiny little village.
Yeah.
With probably nothing goes on
Nothing
there
going
other than
on.
like the ducks swim in the stream and
I must
the
have been
church
confused,
bells ring.
because I knew that you said there was a park, and I went into it and I thought, this must not be the park, it's really small. I thought, well, I'm just going to lie here anyway.
So yeah, that's why you go to therapy, because you just can't dupe that shit.
Exactly. I reckon probably you'd find me on like the Wallington Facebook page.
Yes! Oh my
Is this girl
God.
okay?
Spotted young blonde woman lying barefoot on the grass verge of the village at 10:30 on Thursday morning, unsure if she's mentally stable. Anyone sees her wandering around, make sure she's okay.
Literally, that will be it.
Oh, so funny. Well, anyway,
But it was
I'm
very fun.
glad you
Yeah.
enjoyed, even afterwards. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
I
It's
did.
just
I
funny
was
'cause
having a
the
great
time
time.
of it as well. Like, it's Thursday morning when, you know, people at work.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, you
But then
worked,
that's what
you got up at 6 a.m. and worked, so
Yeah,
that you could lie
yeah.
on the grass at 10:30.
But that's why I find it funny, because he was like, "Oh, you're all right," and I was like, "I'm more than all right. I'm led on the grass on a Thursday morning. There's nothing better to me right now than being led on this grass
I
listening
would
to
love
music."
to have seen it.
And he was probably thinking, "Is she okay?" I'm like, "Yes." Yeah,
Did he
I
have,
know.
like, a dog
I wish
with
you
him?
had.
Or was he just
Yeah, he did have
a
a dog with
village
him.
man?
And then some others walked past as well, and they gave me a really weird look. They didn't say
That's
hi.
so funny. Yeah, to be honest, it's probably the most craziest thing that village has ever seen. I don't think much goes on there. But yeah, anyway, I'm glad you had. Well, on last week's episode, I said that I was claiming this week, as in last week, as like a good week, and like it not being overwhelmed. I'm not getting overwhelmed. Like my brain chime shit.
Oh yeah,
and it worked.
that's good.
I think we killed it last week.
No, we did kill it last week. Yeah.
Like I was like really in control. I
Yeah.
was like filling out my Grace Beverly productivity planner the night before. So I've like time blocked out my day and all this kind of stuff, and I was like had my workouts planned. I've started actually using Chrissy Chella's workout app, Evolve You. I just wanted to have something a bit different. I know that I love using Lacey's programs as well, but I just wanted to try something different, like try a different trainer, even though I love you so much, Lacey. So I wanted like a new focus. I was getting like a bit bored of my workouts.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to change it up. So I've like rehashed my routine basically, and it really helped me not feel overwhelmed or like anxious.
Yeah.
So I claimed it as a good week, and through the power of intention, it was a good week.
Smashed it. I
Yeah.
feel like we did smash it. That my board was doing bits as well.
The whiteboard.
Yeah. I was going to share a picture on
Powerful
my
as hell.
Instagram story of the week completed, but then I thought people might think I was a little bit
so
insane.
sick.
I'll show you after it is.
No, you get
but this picture is pretty
fired
intense.
up.
But yeah, I might do. I think like people
What was
might
like
actually
all your
benefit.
things ticked off?
Yeah, like all the.
I
I didn't even show
like
you.
a
Yeah.
productivity machine.
Yeah, they would literally think, "Wow, this girl."
Task killer.
It was quite intense, but maybe I think I will show a picture because I've rewrote it now for the new week, and I put like my workouts on.
I love that.
And all that. It defo like well kept me accountable, and also with like just really accountable with food, as in like, because I could see, and I wasn't even being that restrictive, but I could see what calories I'd eaten. So then like I don't go into bad habits of like binging and being like, oh, just eat loads of food and then ruin it and eat loads of food the next day. I could clearly see like I've eaten that amount of calories and that's totally fine, and I'm just going to eat like whatever tomorrow, if that makes sense, because I've done my calories on it as well. Like, so it actually really, really helped me not fall into like bad habits.
Yeah, I think sometimes like, obviously sometimes calorie counting is like triggering with some people, and everyone's got to like do what's right for them, because everyone's got a different relationship to that, and food, it doesn't work for some people. But sometimes just measuring it just means what gets measured gets improved, the same way like writing down the work you need to do and like the workouts you need to do and all that kind of stuff, and then ticking off that you've done it. You're just measuring that you do it, just makes you actually stick to the habit rather than like
exactly
forcing control or forcing perfection or forcing something that you don't actually, I don't know, want to do or can't do, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is for me. Just not being too restrictive, but just being like aware. Yeah. Well, I'll share a story maybe with the new board.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, it would have gone by now, but
people love it.
I'll add it to a highlight. Yeah, I think people
whiteboard
will, like,
highlight on Abby's Instagram.
The whiteboard. But no, I would recommend. I've enjoyed it. The accountability so far.
Well, what does James Clear said? He said only successful people have whiteboards. So.
I don't think he said it in that words. That was more of my words, but
but basically, yeah.
But basically that. Well, yeah, and I'm feeling it. Even though it's taken up half of my bedroom, I'm feeling it.
Oh, I love it, mate. I love the one you sent me a picture of it, and in the middle it said like, "You can do it." Or something like that, and then
I keep writing different
focus
quotes
on one task at a time. Or something. I thought,
yeah.
If I was reading that, if I was constantly glancing at that all day, I'd just be on fire.
Yeah. Well, that's how I did feel last week. It was a productive week.
Yeah. So, look, guys, get yourself a whiteboard. Get yourself a Grace Beverly productivity planner. Get yourself writing down what you need to be doing and fucking do it. And you'll feel so much better. So we'll dive into the therapy dupes which is the topic of the episode today. So I want to start off with this one. It's one we've talked about loads before, but like I actually think it's the biggest therapy dupe, and it's journaling.
Yeah.
And like just that self-reflection. And you can honestly therapize yourself through it. Like you can literally like have breakthrough moments where you're like, oh my God, like as if that's what was causing this emotion or something like that. Like whenever we feel something, it's always stemming from something, and sometimes it's actually really hard to figure out what that is, and sometimes it takes a while to figure out what that is. But basically journaling really helps you recognize like your patterns, or even uncover parts of your subconscious mind that you didn't realize was what was bringing that emotion forward. Like so many times I've just felt like annoyed, and I'm like, why am I annoyed? And then gone to my journal, like felt upset or lost, and I'm like, why do I feel like this? Gone to my journal and just without expectation just do kind of like freehand writing, like stream of consciousness, like just I feel like shit today. And then start moaning, like just get it out, and then you start writing, and just don't really think about what you're writing, just or like how you need to structure it, because there's arisen a way. Like it's not like perfection. It's not like you're trying to like. It's not like obviously journaling prompts are great, but I think when you can just do like scribbles of whatever it is in your brain that you just need to get out. That's perfect. Like that's so good. And usually by you get to the end of the journal entry, like kind of like solved it, or you haven't, but you've kind of said, I don't know what to do with this, and within that, even just saying I don't know what to do with this, but like I'm open to a solution, you're telling like your subconscious to go and look for a solution, and also you're telling the universe that you want a solution, so it will respond. But like I think because I've done so much therapy before, I'd say a thing you can do by yourself that's a habit that actually will get you the same kind of self-reflection, like pattern spotting, and like learning about yourself at the highest dupe level. It's journaling for sure.
No, I totally agree. I think as well with journaling, it's like you can get to some places, not that you wouldn't get with a therapist, but you get to it in a different way, because like you've got the time and space to literally just unfold onto the paper. And I think, like I put on my story the other day, on Saturday morning, I put on about like, and loads of people like really resonate with that. So it's when I think people are going to be like, Abby, shut up.
What did you put?
They really resonate with it. I just put how I had a perfect Saturday morning, because I'd woke up early naturally. Done my meditation, which I'm absolutely loving. And then journal, but I'd put, sometimes you don't need a therapist, you just need to allow yourself, know the gift of allowing yourself to fall apart on the paper.
Love that.
Yeah, because I was thinking that it's the exact same for everything we'll talk about today, but it's very similar with journaling and therapy. It's like you will get out of it what you put in, and like whether how much you allow yourself to go in. Like you could buy a journal and never actually be honest with yourself, and never actually allow yourself to unfold and unpack things. Like just because like you're scared, or maybe you're scared of being vulnerable. Or I've even heard people say like, and like, I suppose sometimes there's nothing you can do about this, but some people might say, oh, I generally just don't feel that comfortable fully unfolding in my journal because I'm scared somebody in the house might pick it up. Like that is a thing. Like if you don't really want to tell all the things that's swirling around in your head, if you're scared someone's going to read it, then that is a real fear. But that's what I think with like if you were to sit there and really, really allow yourself to be super honest and just like fall apart and write it all out, like that can be just as beneficial as therapy, because somebody could be going to therapy for a year and not allowing themselves to step in, do you know what I mean, and just being like, oh, I'm going to therapy, but they're not actually really getting anywhere. It's
that like level of like honesty, like actually like
and like
being open.
Because only like you can really, like therapists can help walk you there and help step you in, but like it's up to you at the end of the day. They're not gonna like do it all for you or anything.
Pull it out of your brain.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you're really honest with yourself and practice getting really honest with yourself journaling, you probably will uncover some really deep things that then you could even take to therapy.
Yeah, that's so true.
That if you weren't journaling, you might have just gone like, oh, not much has happened since my last session, a bit of a blank slate. But whereas if you actually spend the time in the middle of journaling, then it's just like a win-win situation. But no, I totally agree that journaling is just like the best thing in the world. I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, it is biggest therapy dupe.
Yeah, especially the stream of consciousness, because sometimes things will come out and you're like, what on earth, didn't know I thought that. Or like some really beautiful moments I think come out on the paper, and then when you really feel like you're just meeting your higher self.
Yeah
or like, just like, oh, you're like channeling in a way.
Yeah, you can even end up like writing soothing messages to yourself,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like, where
so
is this coming
soothing.
from?
Yeah.
Like, it is like your higher self. Like,
yeah, and then you read it back and you're like, oh my god, that is like the sweetest message ever.
yeah,
It really just like the baseline of it is like so much strengthening your self-love, I think.
yeah.
Journaling, like, I think it's just like the place to start, the place to end,
your
the place
connection to
everything.
self.
Yeah,
I think like it's a really great way as well to restore your hope and your faith in if you lose that, like if you are feeling lost, or you are feeling down, or you're feeling like nothing's working out for you, or it's just not going your way or anything, or like just it's just bad times. I think going to journaling, and then when you're writing, like when you kind of tap into that higher self version of you, which you can get to literally so easily from journaling. You can get to it from like doing a 5-minute higher self meditation or something, or like just tuning into like that version of you that's like all knowing and positive. It's always there, but like you just don't always like connect with it. But journaling is like the amazing way for it to come out. Like there's so many things in my journal where I've like probably written like very soothing messages to myself. I'm like, where did that even come from?
Yeah, literally.
But then kind of like when I look back on it, and I'm like, whatever I was worrying about at the time, like it either never came true or it fixed itself, because everything always does end up fixing itself anyway. I love that fact of like how like 90% of your worries don't even come true and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because when you're writing that, like you're restoring that hope and faith in yourself, but actually it does actually manifest and come real, like that, whatever it is that you're hoping for.
Yeah, no, totally.
For the brighter days.
Yeah, and I think like if anyone is feeling like a bit resistant to journaling, or like but what do you journal about, like how do you start, I feel like that can come like as in like you just got to take it slow. Like if you're not used to meeting yourself, like maybe in your emotion, then you might find it hard to actually get it onto paper. But there's like loads of things you could do. Like even I've not actually read the book, but like my friend does it, like, you know, the Artist's Way, where like every single morning.
I think I want to do that.
Yeah, I think I do as well, and just keep it as like a life practice.
Yeah.
I think is it 2 pages or 3 pages every single
morning? 3 morning pages, yeah.
Yeah. My friend Jenny does it, and she said it's like an absolute game changer. But like in that,
and then you've got to take yourself on a solo date a week.
Yeah.
As well.
But you can just like do a Mo Gauda on it and just write out all like we spoke about this before, but for people that haven't heard of it, it is just so powerful to grab a journal and just write out everything that's in your mind, whether it's good, bad, whether you think it's evil, whether you think it's really happy. Just write it all out, all your worries, all the positive things, until you like have nothing left. And then you're like say you've already wrote it, you can't write it twice, and then you're like, all right, I've wrote everything now. And in that moment you might not feel any relief, you might just be like, okay, cool, now I can see all my worries. But you will notice a difference. Like do it for a few days, do it for a week, you will notice a massive difference. Like your head becomes way more clear, because all of a sudden it's on the paper and you're like, I really don't need to worry about that, and you just feel like so much better that it's like out of your mind and onto paper rather than
100%
muddled. You know, you see those diagrams or everything muddled.
Yeah, and it's like so hard to like. It feels heavier in your brain.
Yeah.
When you haven't got it out into like clear like what it is.
Yeah.
It feels heavier than what it actually is.
Yeah, because then once you see it on the paper as well, it's just so simple. You just know, can I change something about that or can I not?
Yeah.
And if you can slowly do it, and if you can't, you can learn to let go. But even though it sounds a bit, I don't know, it kind of is that simple in a way. Even the hardest things in life, like it just really come down to that.
Yeah. Now, I know throughout this episode we've been talking about therapy dupes, but sometimes it just cannot be duped despite what we're saying in this episode. And you do actually just need to go to therapy. And even that in itself can be so hard, because you're like, where do I go? Like, how do I find a therapist? Like, how do I know who's decent? Like, how much is it going to cost me? How's it going to work? How do I get there? All these questions, that can be so overwhelming. Never mind the fact that you're actually going to go to a therapist and talk about your feelings and like process things that may be hard for you to talk about. And that's why we have the perfect therapy resource for you, BetterHelp, which is an online therapy platform, who are the sponsors of the Find Your Feet podcast. The best thing about BetterHelp is it doesn't take long to get signed up with your perfect therapist. All you need to do is fill out a really quick questionnaire on their website. Just let them know a little bit about you, what your needs are, what you'd like to chat about in therapy, even if you don't even really know what that is. Just write a couple words, that's enough. And they will match you with the perfect therapist that they feel is aligned with you, your personality, and what kind of things you'd like to work on, because they have thousands and thousands of highly qualified licensed therapists on there. They all specialize in different things. They're going to match you up with your perfect therapist. And even if you get matched with somebody and you have your first session with them and you think, I don't really connect with this person, because the main thing that's going to help you get the most out of therapy above everything is that you have a good relationship with that therapist, so you can really open up and get the most out of each session and feel seen and feel comfortable to be you, is that you get on well with them. So if you feel like you don't connect with a therapist, BetterHelp let you change therapists as many times as you want at no additional charge until you find the right therapist for you. But using BetterHelp for therapy is so easy to do. You just schedule weekly video or telephone calls with your therapist through the secure app. You can message your therapist on the chat box throughout the week and have check-ins with them, ask them anything you need to know. They sometimes set you a bit of homework as well. You can all go and ask them about that. And then you can come to your session on BetterHelp and do that every week. You don't have to travel anywhere. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. It's so easy, it's so secure. And the other best thing about it is it's really, really affordable. So one of the main things that stands in the way of people getting the access therapy is the financial cost. And that's why BetterHelp want to help everybody become the happiest versions of themselves today by making therapy that little bit more accessible with the price point. And you're also going to get an additional 10% off your first month of therapy by using our code FindYourFeet. So just head to the link betterhelp.com/findyourfeet. That's betterhelp.com/findyourfeet to redeem your 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp. I feel like therapy brings you like this, like, obviously this like safe space to kind of release, and like I feel as well for like it's like a stability, it's like a moment of stability for like someone else to like hold you up for a minute. So I feel like a great dupe for this is like solid routines, because those solid routines hold you up emotionally as well. Do you know, like I was saying, like, last week, like I said, this week I'm not gonna let myself get overwhelmed how I was, because I'm like recognizing what is it that makes me feel overwhelmed, and what are actually really simple routine changes that I can make that make me feel calm and not overwhelmed. And how did I figure out what that was? I journaled about it. But like, so I think that solid routines, even though maybe they're annoying to like wake up and go to the gym, or to be going to bed at the same time, or to be sticking to a meal plan, or sticking to your to-do list and not banking on your future self to be extra productive tomorrow, like overestimating your future self and stuff like that, and like not splitting your tasks out properly. Like I just feel like solid routines, they require discipline, and they might be a bit annoying sometimes, but actually you kind of like, you're really nurturing yourself, because it's like you're being like a mum, like a parent to yourself, you know. So I think that, because if you need therapy, like you're feeling a bit emotionally rocky usually, and like routines really help to ground more.
Yes.
And just bring a bit of calm, and like, because you know what's going to happen, makes you feel better.
Yeah, totally.
And that's like not to be underestimated.
Yeah.
Because that's stability. So like I would be as anal as you want, and like write out when you're going to wake up, what time you're going to bed, like put your phone on do not disturb, read before bed, or whatever you need to do to make sure you actually go to bed at a decent time. Like plan out your meals for the week, like make it fun, like go on Instagram, look at Em the nutritionist, look at her fucking reels, and make some nice video, nice food, like, and then plan out your workouts, like maybe do workouts with your friends, like plan a walk with your friend, go to a gym class with your friend, do something fun, like plot it all in. So they're all things that are going to make you feel really good, and they might feel a bit like on the day of doing, like when you're doing all these things, but actually like over the course of time, a week, we'll have a few days, whatever, you will feel so much better.
Yeah. Totally. I think it just takes away that uncertainty.
Yes.
You know, if you're anxious, like you're already just trying to keep it together. So
Yeah.
it's like having your routine nailed down is so important. You just reminded me there when you said workouts with your friends. I really want to start a tennis club. Not a tennis club.
Oh my God, please.
A tennis group, yeah,
Please.
between the gals. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my God, I'd be so down for that.
Yeah, I was thinking it last week. I was like, I need to tell Grace.
Perfect spring summer activity.
Isn't it?
I've been wanting to do tennis for ages, but the weather's been horrific, so it was like winter.
Yeah, well, let's do it.
There's not really any
get
indoor courts
together
around here, so we need to go outside in the nice weather.
Yeah. Well, we can
I
organise it.
love that. What a great idea.
Yeah, so we've got dance, we've got tennis. Yeah, and it's such good exercise, like just being outside. But like you're not, like it's not like
And it's going to
any
be
annoying kind of
really
exercise.
fun. We can do like doubles.
Yeah, and get all competitive.
Oh my God. I'm buzzing.
Well, there you go, guys. That's an idea if you can't think of anything. But no, totally agree. I absolutely love a routine, especially if I'm feeling a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
Another one is to spend time with friends and family and people that love you and can support you. And I was also thinking as well, like the importance of talking it out, but like stepping in even when you don't want to. But that's probably coming from my point of view, because I know that in the past I've struggled with like talking about how I feel and like bringing it up. Like in my teenage years, I just bottle it all up. So that became like my coping mechanism. So that's like my default. So if I was in a situation and I wanted therapy, but like I just didn't want to go, or I didn't have the money or something, I would actively try and like speak it out and like try and tell people and step into that vulnerability, because maybe a lot of the time when you go into therapy, you want to learn how to be vulnerable and talk about your feelings, but like you can do like a bit of exposure therapy in a way and like push yourself, like talk to your friends, go to one that like you feel most comfortable with. Just say like even one thing, like say with you, maybe sometimes I might say like one thing, like a little seed, and then you're like, oh really, what, are you okay? Da, da, da. But sometimes I need that. Like sometimes I really struggle to be like, oh actually no, I don't feel that good. I suppose everyone's different, but like I think pushing yourself a little bit in that way from one point of view, and just talking to people that you feel like safe around. It's not even that they need to give advice, but like even if someone can just listen, if it's your mum, dad or something, even if they're like, I don't really know what to say, but I'm actually just gonna listen and hear you out, like that's so powerful. Yeah,
So true. I think you're really good at like listening.
Aww,
because you
nice.
like I think you've like developed the skill a bit more as well through like the course you've been doing.
Yeah,
You've been therapizing me in secret.
I think I'm got better at listening, because you're really good at talking about how you feel.
Oh right.
So I got good at, no, but it's good for me, because I'm like, fucking I need to take a leaf out of your book, because I think you're really good at bringing it, how you feel. So then I just like listen, and then I'm like thinking, Abby, you should be more like this.
Well, I feel like you listen without trying to fix, and that's really nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Because when I told you that I was really anxious the other week, it was on Friday, and I was like, mate, I've got nothing in the tank. I've just accidentally fallen asleep on Friday afternoon. Our listeners probably thinking, you lot don't do any fucking work. You're napping on a Friday afternoon. Sitting in the park at 10:30 on Thursday morning after therapy with your toes out. No, we like work weird hours around all the time.
Yeah, we do.
No, I had like nothing left. I don't know why. And I was like messaging you, and I was like, oh, bro, I should not feel any good. And you were just like, that's okay. And I was like, I know there's nothing wrong in my life, though. I just don't feel good right now. Like there's actually, everything's really great, and I've got loads. I'm very blessed, and like I've got loads to be grateful for. But I just feel like fucking shit right now. I just have anxiety all through me. And you were like, that's okay. Gratitude and anxiety can coexist. I was like, they can, can't they?
Yeah, no, because I do sometimes think that, like, we're like, I feel so sad or anxious, like, why? I'm so grateful, but it's like, you can have both.
Yeah.
It's so true, though.
Yeah, and you just like, not every day thriving queen, it's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's true. We can't be every day, can we?
I feel like you helped me
days.
actually just accept how I was feeling and just more surrender to it, which then instantly made me feel so much better, because I was resisting how I was feeling. So I was like, I should be at my desk right now. I shouldn't feel like I'm on -10 energy.
Yeah.
I should be working. I should be outputting.
Yeah. I think that allowing is so important. I think we're both like that a bit in in business and in life, like sometimes like you've literally just got to let go and be like, okay, this is what we're with right now.
Yeah.
What can we do? Because I think the more you force it, say if you were to sat at your desk, you would have literally felt awful.
Well, yeah, I accidentally fell asleep. Then we had a fucking meeting with our accountant, and I rocked up and like shit. Half my face was red because you only have a nap when you nap on your hand and you like smush your face up. And like I just came to the meeting like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I apologise for my appearance.
You were fine.
Oh, so
Well, that's good to know. Well, there you go. Just meeting people where they're at. I suppose that's the message, isn't it? But also, I suppose, allowing yourself to bring it in a way.
Yeah.
And not bottling it up, because that's the main reason you end up in therapy, is just keep bottling it up.
Yeah, exactly. And as well, I rang my mum and I was like, what are you doing today? And she was like, she was off work, but she was like, I'm busy doing whatever. I was like, I feel like shit. And she was like, okay. Like, she didn't try and fix me, but she was like, let's hang out then. Because she knows that I just need to hang out. And I was like, oh, thanks, mummy. And, you know, that just makes everything so much better.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to be forthcoming and vulnerable with your feelings. And as well, when you're like that, then, you know, other people feel that they can be like that with you.
Totally.
Because at the end of the day, we all feel different things. Like, we all feel hard emotions sometimes. And, you know, we should be able to talk to people about it.
Yeah. Oh, I was listening to a pod this morning and someone said something really simple, but it's always those simple things I love. You know, she just said, I used to always think that asking for help was a sign of weakness, but it's actually a sign of strength.
Yeah.
It's like, it actually is so true, like actually allowing yourself. I think especially when it comes to like men's mental health stuff, I think, obviously I don't know what it feels like to be a man, and it must be really tough because you want to be like that masculine and strong. But I think there is so much strength in being like, actually, no, I need help. Because that's harder sometimes to ask. It's easier sometimes to bottle it up. So, like, well done, anyone out there trying.
Yeah.
It's hard, but so doable.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Another therapy dupe that I love is to, like, learn something new or water your mind. And I'm kind of putting this in the category of, like, something, like, optimistic. So maybe it's listening to the podcast and you hear the woman say, sometimes asking for help's actually the strongest thing you can do. You know, and you hear that one little thing that just changes, you know. So like, I actively try and seek out new inspiration all the time, but especially when I am not feeling great, like that. And you know, in the student's ready, the teacher appears. That's when like some of the most iconic books of your like personal growth journey land in your lap, the things that change your life, like. So, and that is just a therapy dupe. And if I ever duped it, like, I remember when I read A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, because so many people said that book changed my life, and like I always heard it and I had it screenshot in my phone from ages ago, and like I just forgot it was there, and I never bought it because I wasn't ready to obviously read that then. It wasn't that I was resisting it, but it's because I really believe like books find you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna get that book actually. Like this was the time to get the book. Like, it came back into my consciousness, even though it dropped in so many times before. But I just didn't actually read it yet. So I ordered it and I like absolutely devoured it. And it was in a time when I was actually feeling like so lost, like really deep in like a healing stage, at the start of a healing stage as well, and like had so much like. I was dusting up some shit, dusting up some cobwebs in my brain, and like processing stuff that happened, and like just trying to like piece myself back together, like and just like recenter and like basically recenter and like realign to create a new future. Because I was like, it's like something happened where it's just like, and it's like you either heal now and stop this pattern continuing, or it continues. And so I was in this real sort of like a rebuild stage, and where like I was thirsty for new inspiration that was going to redirect me to where I needed to go. And I feel like A Return to Love is one of the books, like when they say books that was pivotal on your journey. That was one of them. Another one for me was You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero.
Yeah, that's the same for me. We love the same books.
Iconic. That book literally made me quit my job.
Yeah, and you
years after, but it planted the seeds.
Yeah,
it opened my eyes to thinking that I could have a life that I actually wanted, and a life of freedom. So like, I just think some of those books that come your way that just like change everything. It's literally life changing.
It is. They become like a little Bible in a way.
Yeah, I was like highlighting the shit out of Return to Love.
Yeah, me too. I love looking back on it because as well, it's just such a beautiful book, like so beautifully written, and the message, just everything about it is incredible. But no, it's so true, because I think as well, when you're in like a hurt place, or maybe like you're going through transformation, maybe it's a breakup or maybe something happening you need to heal, it's like because you're like doing a spring clean of what you want to get rid of, you want to fill it with new stuff. And as well, I think as well, when you're like reading a really good book, it's like the buzz of like finding something new, and like your soul resonating with something new is so nice and refreshing.
Yeah,
I think it's like such a pick me up as well. Like if you're not feeling that good, it's like, no, like I can change my brain, I can fill it with new things, like it's exciting.
Yeah. And in A Return to Love, actually just made me think of this thing that they always say, because it's based on the principles of the Course in Miracles, and that always says the miracle isn't in like you walking on water or something like that, or like you changing water into wine. So I'm making Jesus references. Or like, do you mean the miracle isn't in like you becoming a millionaire? The miracle is just in you like changing having new thought, like a better thought, like a more positive thought, more loving thought, like returning to love. That's where the miracle is. Yeah, because and I heard that so many times. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? How's that a miracle? But then once you like hear it again and again and again, because like I always hear like Marianne Williamson say it, Gabby Bernstein say it, like other people that like are into that vibe, they always saying it. And eventually it makes sense, because then when you start to realize like everything does start in our brains, our minds and our thoughts. So the miracle is in that one switch of a better feeling thought, because that is what changes the course of your action. And it might not happen like that, like as in the course of action might not change like that and your reality changes literally in an instant, but it actually does with time, as long as you like stay committed to that better feeling thought. Because you can look back on your life on so many times where you had the opportunity to lie in the gutter and wallow in it and be a victim and not grow from a situation, or even though it was hard, even though it was painful, even though you felt like shit, even though it was sad, even though you didn't feel good, you decided to choose a new path. And it didn't mean you denied any of your pain, that was still there, but you just chose to like just take one, like just as even a shift of your head, like your perspective, just look maybe at a brighter way rather than where you were. And that's the miracle, because then later down the line you see that one tiny choice was what got you to where you are now, when you're in a better place. Like, and I think everyone in life can like probably look back and reflect and like see where that's true for them. And that could be just it could be like just one thing your friend said, or like that made you change your mind, or like one thing you heard on a podcast or read in a book, or just that you decided to not like believe that you weren't that like I don't know, like your dream job wasn't possible, or like love wasn't possible, or like just deciding to just not think those things. That's where the miracle is. That's beautiful. Therapy dupe.
Therapy dupe is Return to Love. That will definitely give you something to bloody bring to therapy, won't it? Because you like uproots everything. You're like, oh my god. Powerful stuff. Okay, so the next one is to spend time in nature, and just spend time like really listening to nature and like flowing with it, and like listening to like the signs of nature, like whether that's like an animal that keeps appearing, you know, like people get signs maybe through like butterflies or things like that, or like certain birds, or just like when your mind is busy, I think allowing yourself to be outside and just really looking at nature, you know, like admiring the flowers, like really looking into a flower. Like it always blows my mind when I look into a flower and I'm like, that literally looks like the universe. Like,
do you ever look into your eye and think it looks like the fucking universe.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to be a
Because it
narcissist,
is.
like, wow, my eyes are so beautiful. But you ever look into, what's the coloured bit of your eye, and it looks like the universe.
Yeah.
Like with all the lines. I don't know what that bit is. It called an iris?
I think it's an iris, I think.
Mine.
Yeah, your pupil, your iris. No, it literally does, but that's what like literally blows my mind, because when you watch documentaries on the space and you're like, oh my god, that
it looks the
like
same.
an eye.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, literally, it's crazy. But I think obviously for like the entire length of time since humans evolved, we've always flown with nature. We've always like evolved with nature. So it's like, it's nothing new. It's like, it's not that surprising that nature will soothe you and literally soothe your nervous system. Like, that's what it's meant to do. Like, we are living animals, living, breathing. We flow with nature. We're just a part of like the universe, the same way that nature is, but not the same way like all these man-made stuff is. So it's not surprising that it soothes you, but I think if you are intentional about it as well, and like, it's not always easy to even motivate yourself to spend time in nature. Like, it can so easily be like, oh, I'm too busy, I'm not going to spend time in nature, I'm not going to go and walk or anything. But I think it can be so soothing to connect with nature and have like a relationship in a way, and allow it to like recharge you, whether that's like the wind through your hair, whether that's touching trees, whether that's just grounding in the grass,
getting your toes out on a Thursday morning. It's so
therapeutic. But I think the more you do it, the more connected you feel as well.
Yeah. And I think like, even for someone who doesn't prioritize like going out into nature, and might be hearing you think connect with nature, thinking, what are you talking about, connect with nature? I'm going to connect with myself. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that might sound really foreign. I think even just being on a walk, or just being in some sort of greenery without you even trying to connect, it is healing you. Because you notice, like, I think when you need healing as well, you're really drawn to going and like spending time in parks and like going on walks and whatever. But even when you do just go on a walk, like, you feel so much calmer for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that's not even with you thinking, I'm going to go on this walk and I'm going to feel calm after the walk. You just do, because that is what being outside does, because it's so natural to do that. So it's like a dupe.
It is a dupe.
And I think it's like, as well, it's like making that time for that slower pace of life and more still, which is really important as well. Like, to just take a minute to just like stop doing and just be.
Yeah. No
Just be Buddha for a sec. We all need to check in with our internal Buddhas and like just have 5 minutes to be a Zen master. We all need to do that.
Yeah, we do. On the topic of stillness though as well, I think what can be really, really powerful that can bring up things for you to like digest is doing something where you're getting completely into your body, like breath work or a sound bath, or like something somatic, or obviously just meditation, but something where you're actually allowing like whatever stirring inside of you to like just simmer for a bit and like listening. Like, that is so powerful. And I think, like I said again, like, things in that may come up that may never have the chance to rear their head in the therapy room, because you are led there with yourself, and like, you're just allowing yourself to go in and allowing stuff to come up. And you may be surprised, like when you do meditations and stuff, you may get like a message or a word or a face or something, and you may think, what the hell? But like, usually it will mean something. It's just like your intuition talking. But I think even things like breathwork, the amount of breathworks I've done, I thought, oh, I'm fine, I've done a breathwork, and I've literally like burst out crying or something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that is therapy. Do you know what I mean? Like, allowing yourself to release emotion, like, that is just your own version of therapy.
100%. It's like giving yourself that space for your body to feel relaxed and safe enough to let that emotion out.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes we're too busy working, doing, going out, that you're just not in a spot for any of that to emerge.
Yeah, exactly.
When I get the tears coming, though, I push them away. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Boy, when you're on your own?
Yep. But then sometimes I like put on a song and I'm like, right, come on. Squeeze it out.
It can be hard. I think sometimes when you want to more, sometimes that can make it hard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was all the therapy dupes that are like actually helpful and serious and like genuinely duped. But we've got to have a funny therapy dupe as well.
Yeah, because you see so many funny ones online, don't you?
Yeah.
So what's yours?
Well, I thought you were going to tell me what mine was. I think that's
like, so what's
funnier.
yours? Not that I told you what it was before.
Go on.
Yeah, well, I said we should think of one for each other, didn't I?
Well,
but yours came to me straight away. So your therapy dupe would be like going online and ordering a load of clothes. To make yourself feel better.
100%. And to be honest, I'm not even sorry about it.
No, you shouldn't be.
Do I put myself backwards in terms of financial progression, stability, and all that shit? 100%. But does my soul feel better for it? Absolutely. So I would rather die a well-dressed soul. I'd rather be in my casket looking fit in my new threads and looking fly than not. So I'm like totally happy. I was literally saying to my mum the other day, I was like, at a soul level, it makes me so happy to like have the clothes that I want to have or whatever, and not for anyone else to like say you look cool. For me to just enjoy it. It's all for me. And yeah, obviously it's nice when people say you look sick, but like I just can't not. It makes me too happy that it outweighs all the cons, and there's a lot of cons. I mean, I don't literally go mental like and put myself in debt or something to buy bloody clothes, but I could definitely buy less. And I'm making myself sound like I'm some like unsustainable clothes buyer that then chucks all the stuff out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like contributing to landfill. I'm not, because I actually
you
keep
buy
everything.
Really good stuff as well.
Yeah, and I wear it to death. But like I just get.
And you really, really look after your stuff. I've never known someone to look after stuff so much in my whole entire life.
Yeah, I get so like emotionally attached. Like
yeah, no, it's good.
I do. It's something at a deep soul level. I think it's a contract I signed before I came to Earth. It's not even me. It's something else.
I feel like maybe in a past life you were like Egyptian with all the gold and everything, like in your little.
Yeah, maybe I was like. Yeah, maybe in the past life I was like the queen.
Yeah, probably.
You know, like
high priestess or something somewhere.
Yeah, and I was just like dripping.
Yeah, and it's just stayed with you. That's fine.
Absolutely fine. I think I was even like that as a kid though. I was definitely like that when I was younger.
Yeah, so that's why
I used to bamboozle my mum into taking me shopping all the fucking time, and like she wouldn't really do it with my brothers. She'd be like, "Grace, what the hell are you doing? Why do you always make me end up spending so much money on you?" And I'm like, I look cool though.
I can just imagine.
So yeah, it's definitely my therapy dupe.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I've said it on the pod before, I was like, I've gone to therapy. I spent 60 quid every week to go to therapy, whatever, for a period of time. Because I think we're doing like a end of year reflections episode, and I was saying that I'd done a lot of therapy that year. I was like, I could have easily gone and dropped 60 quid in Zara every week and looked fresh, but I didn't.
Exactly. We all have seasons.
Yeah.
Totally. So what do you think mine is?
Hugging trees. 100%.
It definitely is.
Like hugging trees and like talking to them and stuff.
It's like, is Abby solving her problems? No, she's just in a field hugging that tree. And I'm like, I'm having a great time. As long as it's me and my tree, I'm having a great time over here.
Yeah.
As I said to that guy, I'm having a great time.
Don't you worry about me, sir.
Yeah, I'm like, do not worry about me.
I'm more than fine. I'm thriving.
I am. No, it's funny. We've all got our things.
Yeah, funny. Anyway, let us know what you guys' therapy dupes are like.
Yeah.
Your serious one that's actually good, and then your funny one.
Yeah.
Even though that one's good as well, because obviously it's therapy dupe. But like,
my other funny one that I think probably both of us would do.
Oh yeah.
Is go to the shop and buy loads of candy
and
chocolate.
Oh fuck yeah. Get the candy. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Feeling a bit emotionally unstable. So just get some candy.
Yeah. Get some chucky wocky, cup of tea.
Yeah, cup of tea. Oh my god, that's such a therapy dupe.
Oh my god, yeah, why didn't we have that on there as a genuinely serious therapy dupe? A cup of tea.
Cup of tea goes alongside all the things on the board.
Yeah, it's literally up there at the same level as dupiness.
Yeah.
Love it. Anyway, let us know what your therapy dupes are. And thank you for tuning in. And if you're ready to dupe therapy, now you know what to do.
Yeah, send this along to your friends that you feel like they need a dupe for therapy.
Keep up with us on socials at Find Your Feet Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Got some killer episodes coming out, and we've got some killer giveaways to come. I'm not going to say anything more about what it is, but like, you need to look out for the next upcoming episodes. You have to listen to them, and you have to keep up on our Instagram so you can enter it, because it's madness what's being given away. But so you want to connect with us on social media so that you can be in the know of everything that's going on, because there is going to be some big fat prizes for the Find Your Feet community.
There is,
and it literally could be you that wins it. So
it could.
Come join us on the grams, keep up to date with everything that's going on, and we release episodes every Wednesday, so we'll see you next Wednesday in a new episode.
See you then.